talked in your writing about taking command of your life and taking command of your desires and all that. I'm wondering what degree would you take neglecting your desires?
If unharmful, you're okay to fulfill. If harmful, you don't avoid. People, they fulfill the desire without a choice, not selective enough, and or rush into a solution, harmful solution. That's all bad. Okay, we talk about just this level, not a good different.
My question is, how can you make a distinction between being a true self, leading a true life, and then try to, hold on your desires at certain places? It's like, I find it hard that being a true self, or simple life, complete life, within a culture that has certain conventions and traditions that you cannot go beyond. So how do you see that relationship, and how can you behave, like live a life within a culture where certain things that you cannot do?
Yeah, I understand what you say. You first of all, not everything from a tradition is good. Some are, in early time, people can accept a special custom. Now we're not. We should selectively to say, re-evaluate what's the part of a tradition practice we can accept as a modern individual. Some you don't need to do that. You need to be true to yourself. My personal feeling, you have some subtlety from the traditional law to you. You should re-evaluate the situation. Your happiness, your life is much more valuable than what the nonsense of the tradition.
Hi, I want to ask about changing lines in the I Ching, and if it's possible, I've heard of a I Ching practitioner, and if someone were to go to one, could they do one for you? I do my own, but I mean, I was wondering if you can interpret something about someone else's life, or...
You can do it, let the people do by themselves. They can cast coin or do the seeds, then it's the energy display, then you interpret it from the books. At the first, you don't choose lines, choose a general hexagram, just put your hexagram from 64, you decide the general condition and different staging. You give the story, people understand what is staging, how the next step, what you go in. If you use a line looking for specific condition, then you could not use line defined to say, the bad or good. You should look at the connected, the line before, the line after, or the first line not before. Then you can looking for development to say to when your situation can be improved, or what kind of attitudes, what adjustment you need to be made in order to achieve, to change the situation. Yeah, thank you.
Some Chinese philosophy has been criticized as too passive, especially Lao Tzu Dao De Jing. So how do you think that the passive way of not trying to interfere the others' affairs will help people to improve the modern life?
I would like you read my Dao De Jing, my version Dao De Jing, then help you have a better whole view about the Dao De Jing. Generally speaking, Dao De Jing, particularly in modern time, people have difficulty because it's too passive, not aggressive enough. They don't know progress can be made by peaceful approach than aggressive approach. For example, like your health. If say you have a health trouble, I give you medication and kill the poison virus inside of you, at the same time create harm inside of the world, the vitality you have. That's not our approach. Our approach, okay, We detoxify you, at the same time protect you. So that's the Tao Te Ching approach. I appreciate the Tao Te Ching as ageless wisdom, for long purpose. The Tao Te Ching also teach about surprising approach. In some circumstance, you could not follow legal way. A different way can help. Yeah.
So, do you think that it requires some cultural background to understand Yi and the Tao Te Ching better?
Yeah, and Tao Te Ching like myself, I also have difficulty until I have totally achieved it, because Tao Te Ching is so short, uses a few words, very easy to be misinterpreted. But it's valuable. So small book like this, usually we talk about 5,000 collectors, but practically maybe 6,300 collectors, because later somebody divided chapters, add a few words, made it clear. You read about it. For my version, you understand it's so valuable. No way to replace it. At that time, what I say, I'm just a student. 2,005 years ago, the prophets what the world can become, what the confusion can be happen to what it can settle. All expressed here.
So since self-interpretation is so important, what are your criteria of judging of judging whether your interpretation is good or sufficient?
Yes, that's a very good question about it. These two type of interpretation. One type of word by word scholastic. One type is you need to go through spiritual enlightenment. Like you say, Lao Tzu teach you would rather choose to be strong, would rather choose to be weak. It depends on your wisdom, you can adopt it. Say, for example, your boyfriend, your husband have a conflict with you. You can strongly fight you go, never can come back, unite again. You would rather take a gentle approach, maybe the thing not as bad as you think, right? I'm kidding you. You're good. Yeah, you're good. Your question is good.